Okay, this is called a 4-pole DC machine, and this DC machine, this is called pole core. This is called pole shoe. Okay, these are pole shoes. This is called yoke, and it's called to place the winding. The pole cores are used to place the winding, field winding. Okay, armature winding. This is called armature. This is called armature slots. In the slots, we have to place the winding. Okay, armature conductors are placed in this. Understood. This is called output terminal. So, well, a yoke is a machine is called this outer frame of a dish machine is called yoke, and it's made up of cast iron steel. And the poles and the pole shoes, this is called pole core, and pole shoes. This is called pole. Okay, pole core. This is called field winding, and this is called pole shoes. And the field winding, they usually made up of copper. Field winding is made by copper. Okay, armature core. So this is called armature of a DC machine. So this and this armature, the windings are placed like this. Okay, in each slot, so the winding is placed. Okay, this air holes are used to dissipate the air. Okay, so armature winding. So it is usually farmer owned copper coil which rest in armature slots. Okay, this winding is placed on armature slots. Okay, this is called armature winding. This armature core is like this. Okay, and the commutator. The commutator is a converter. Okay, so the commutator is converting AC to DC or DC to AC based upon type of machine that's called generator or motor. Okay. So armature. So like this, this is about DC machine construction. EMF equation of DC generator. Here P is called number of poles of the DC machine. Flux is called flux per pole in Webers, and Z is called total number of armature conductors. And N is called speed of armature in revolutions per minute. Okay, that's called RPM. A is called number of parallel paths in the armature winding. Okay, number of parallel paths are used. So how many number of parallel paths? That is denoted by A. And then flux cut by one conductor is called P into pi Webers. Poles into flux is called flux cut by one conductor. And then time taken to complete one revolution, T is equal to 60 by N seconds. Okay, therefore the average induced EMF is called E is equal to P into pi divided by dt. Change in flux with respect to time is called EMF. Okay, E is equal to minus N into d by dt. You are observing that formula. So based on that, here E is equal to is nothing but P into pi divided by T. Poles into flux divided by time is called EMF induced in the conductor. Okay, and by substituting this T is equal to 60 by N here, so you will get like this. E is equal to poles into flux divided by 60 by N, and then E is equal to P into pi into N divided by 60 volts. Okay, then the number of conductors connected in series are in each parallel path, then that is called Z by A. So divided by Z by A. Okay, the number of connected in series in each parallel path, Z by A. So multiply. So then you will get E is equal to P into pi N divided by 60 into Z by A. So this is called the EMF equation of generator. Okay, that is called back EMF in generators. Back EMF. So then N is equal to 60 by N. E is equal to back EMF is equal to K into pi into N. Okay, here K is called constant, that P Z by A. That is called P is called poles constant, and the number of conductors also constant, and the number of parallel paths also constant. At the stage of design, these are changing only at the design stage only. At the running stage, this is a constant. Poles is constant, number of conductors constant, parallel paths constant. It's not changing. Okay, only flux and the number of speed is changing. Okay, that's why E is equal to K into pi into N. That's why EMF induced is proportional to the flux and the speed. So that's why the E is equal to flux into N, and is proportional to pi, flux into omega. Omega is equal to 2 pi N by 60. You know well. So like this, the generated EMF is called EG is equal to, so P into Z into pi into N by 60 into A. Okay, for this is for generator, where EG is called generator EMF. If the machine is a DC machine, is working as a motor, the induced EMF is given by the equation shown below. EB is equal to PZ pi N divided by 60 to A. So EB is called back EMF. Okay, so this is about a generator. Types of DC generators. there are different types of generators are there. Separately excited generators and self-excited generators. I'm already explained by using animation. Okay, separately excited generators and self-excited generators. So in separately excited generator, these generators classified as separately excited DC generators and self-excited DC generator. There is also permanent magnet DC generators. Okay, the self-excited DC generators are further classified into shunt wound DC generators, series wound DC generator, compound wound DC generator. Understood? Self-excited DC generators are classified into shunt, series, and compound. So like this, there are three types of DC generators: shunt generator, series generator, compound wound generator. Okay, so separately excited DC generator. So this is called separately excited. So separately excited means that field winding is excited by separately. Okay, if the field winding is excited by separate this field winding. Okay, so field winding and so this is called field winding. This field winding is excited. Separate is called separately excited DC generator. Okay, so that's why this separately excited DC generator. So by using external supply separately, so this field winding is excited. This is called field current excitation current, field current, the field winding, and it's called VB is called back EMF. This is called RA is called armature winding resistance. Okay, IA is called armature current, IL is called line current. For this, IA is equal to IL, you know well, and IF and this is field winding related to the field current. Here IA is equal to IL, IA is called armature current or line current. So here, so what is the voltage here? What is the generated voltage? Is called V is called EG minus drop voltage drop across the armature winding. So VB EG minus IA into RA is called so output voltage. Okay, voltage across the load is terminal voltage. V is equal to generated voltage is minus you are having winding armature winding having some resistance that is called some drop. Okay, IA into RA that is called drop across the armature winding. That drop is nothing but IA into RA. So V is equal to EG minus IA into RA. This is called so output terminal voltage, the voltage across this. Okay, understood. So if the brushes also some drops takes place in brushes also. Okay, if you are consider the brush drop also, so that is will become minus 2 into VB. VB is called voltage across the brush drop voltage drop across the brushes. So that's why E is equal to EG minus I into RA minus 2 VB. Two brushes are used. No? Okay, that's why minus 2 VB. This is for generator. So power developer is equal to EG into IM. Power developer here is so generated EMF into armature current is called EG into IA. Okay, then output terminal power is nothing but the voltage across this. Na? V into IL is called output power. So IL is equal to IA, that's called V into IA is called output power. That is for separately excited DC generator and self-excited. There are the different type of connections: shunt wound, series wound, and compound wound. Based on connection, this generators are classified into the three different types. So this field winding and armature winding are connected in parallel. That's why it is called shunt generator. Okay, shunt generator. So this is called shunt generator, the field winding and armature winding. This is called field resistance, shunt field resistance RSH, armature winding resistance RA, and IA is called armature current, ISH is called shunt current, and IL is called low line current or load current. Okay, generator now output is nothing but electrical. Okay, ISH is equal to V by RSH. So ISH is called current flowing into this is called V by. These two are connected in parallel. That's why. So whatever the voltage appear here, same voltage. V by RSH is called current flowing to the field winding. ISH is equal to V by RSH. Then IA is equal to IL plus IH. No? So this current entering current is equal to some of the leaving currents. This armature current is equal to this current plus this current. IA is equal to IL plus ISH. Okay, understand. IA is equal to IL plus H. Then V is equal to EG minus I into R. This voltage across this terminal is nothing but so generated EMF minus this drop voltage across the voltage drop across the armature winding. That is called IAR. So V is equal to EG minus IR. Then so if you are consider so brush drop also contact drop brush contact drop minus 2 VB. Then power developer is equal to EG into IA. The power output is nothing but V into I. That is for shunt. Okay, parallel connection. So that's for shunt generator. For a series wound generators, the field winding is connected in series with the motor. So, okay, this is called a motor, a generator, armature winding. The field winding is connected in series. That's why it is called series generator. Okay. for series motor. So both are same, but for motor input is electrical. So we have to give the power supply externally by using external power supply. So that is called motor. But for generator, this is a mechanical rotation. So we have to rotate the rotor by using prime mover, and then output is electrical for generator. Okay, this IL line current and armature current in series. That's why IL is equal to IA. So series field resistance, field winding, series field winding resistance is called RAC. So IAC is equal to IL is equal to IL. Here, IAC, this current is equal to series field current is equal to IL is equal to IA. Both are same. And then V is equal to EG minus IA into RA, IAC into RAC. So okay, this voltage here, voltage is nothing but, so generator voltage minus this drop and armature winding drop. That is called IARA minus IAC into RAC. So V is equal to EG minus IA into RA plus RAC. So like this, terminal voltage of the series generator. Okay, V is equal to, we are consider best volt brush contact drop minus 2 VB. Power developed is equal to EG into IA. V into I. So generated EMF into armature current is called power developed, and power output is called V into IL. IL is equal to IA. Both are in series. IL is equal to IA. That's why V into IA. So that is for series generator and compound generator. So long shunt and short shunt, two generators are there based on connection. If the field winding is connected here, this is called a short shunt compound generator. If the field winding is connected, okay, after the series field winding, it's called long shunt compound generator. Okay, so this is about generators. And then coming to the motors. So working principle of DC motor. So you know well, for motor, current carrying conductor is placed in a stationary magnetic field. It experiences a force. Okay, that is a motor principle. Okay, current carrying conductor placed in the external magnetic field, stationary magnetic field, it experiences a force. And the motor is based on Fleming left-hand rule. For motor, Fleming left-hand rule. For generator, Fleming right-hand rule. So this is called this point finger. Okay, so represent magnetic field, and the thumb finger is represent force, and middle finger is represent current. This middle finger, these three fingers are placed perpendicular. Okay, the middle finger is represent the current direction, and this point finger is represent the magnetic field direction, and this finger is represented force direction. According to the Fleming left-hand rule, this motor is working. Okay, so this motor, this back EMF. So I'm already explained about back EMF. EB is equal to PZ pi into Zn by 60 to A. No? So P is called number of poles, flux per pole, Z is total number of conductors, N is armature speed, and E is number of parallel paths. Okay. So the back EMF is proportional to N, or is proportional to pi into N. Okay. You know well. So power equation in DC motor. So for generator, EG minus IA into RA. For motor, VV is equal to EB plus IA into RA. So, okay, so for motor, so this is the, for example, the separately excited motor. So this is called field winding is excited by separately. That's why it is called separately excited motor. This voltage V is equal to, so this drop plus this back EMF is called the terminal voltage. This terminal voltage, supply voltage is nothing but this back EMF voltage plus this voltage drop across this armature winding is called supply, this V. V is equal to EB plus IA into RE. Okay, V is equal to EB plus IA into RE is called back EMF. Okay, so V is equal to EB plus IA into RE. This is called so voltage generated in voltage equation. And then multiply IA, V into IR is equal to IA is equal to EB plus EB into IA plus IA square into RE. And then by doing like this, condition for maximum power. Okay, V into IA minus IA square into RE. For generator or for motors, you can find easily. Okay. So differentiate with respect to IA, this power equation, mechanical power developed, PM is equal to V into IA minus IA square into RA. This power differentiate with respect to IA and equal to 0, you will get to the maximum power condition EB is equal to V by 2. Okay. Torque equation in a DC motor. So V is equal to V plus IA into RA. V into IA multiply current IA. So you will get like this. V into IA plus EB into IA plus IA square into RE. Okay, then power is equal to force into current. Power developed in motor is nothing but like this. So mechanical power is equal to torque into omega. Omega is equal to 2 pi n by 60. Okay, so for RPM, for RPS, 2 pi n. Okay, so you will get, so these two are same na? By equating this, torque is equal to EB by IA divided by 2 pi n. EB is equal to pi into Z into NP divided by 60 novel. Okay, N is equal to N by 60. By substituting this all values, you will get a torque equation. Okay, so like this, torque is equal to K into pi into IA. The torque is proportional to the, okay, torque is proportional to the flux and armature current. Understood? Torque is proportional to the flux and armature. So like this. Types of DC motors, same as generators, also types of DC motors also there. Separately excited DC motor. So separately excited. This field winding is excited by separately. That's why it's called separately excited motor. Okay, the armature winding. So like this, separately excited DC motor. The motor input is called supply. That's why armature current from the supply is like this. Okay, this is called supply. So this is called armature current. We are giving the power supply externally by using like this. This is not load for motor. Okay, so this, so armature current direction like this. So current enters to the armature winding. For generator, current opposite like this. Current leaves from this here for generator. For generator, for motor, current enters like this. Okay, for shunt motor, this is called separately excited motor. This is called shunt motor. Okay, the field winding is connected in shunt, so that's why this is called a shunt. Okay, EB, IAR, ISH, and IL. So this line current is called supply current. For shunt motor, this line current is divided into armature current and shunt field current. Okay, IL is equal to IA plus ISH. But in generator, IA is equal to IL plus ISH. So this current is equal to this current. Addition of these two currents in generator. Armature current leaves in generator, but for motor, armature current is entering like this. So line current is equal to ISH plus IA. So IA is equal to IL is equal to IS plus H. Okay, so V is equal to E plus IA into RA for motor. So by multiplying the current I, so V into I is equal to, so like this, by doing the some operations, we are getting like this manner. Okay, that is for shunt and then series wound motor. The field winding is connected in series. No? That's why it is called a series field generator. Okay, this series wound generator. So here line current, armature current, and ISC currents are always the same. I is equal to IS into same. So V is equal to E plus IA into RA plus RAC from this relation. V is equal to E plus IA into RA plus RAC. I into RA plus RAC. So like this you will get the relations. Okay. So this is about speed control of DC motor. So N is equal to V minus IA into RA divided by K into pi. So the flux is inversely proportional to the speed and also this voltage drop also. So V minus IA RA drop is also depending on speed. So the flux is inversely proportional to the speed. Okay, by controlling the armature current, the speed can be controlled. By controlling the flux also, the speed can be controlled. The speed and flux are both are inversely proportional. If the flux is increasing, the speed is decreasing. If the flux is decreasing, speed is increasing. So like that, the speed of the DC motor is can be controlled. And also by controlling the armature current or armature resistance also, okay, so the speed can be controlled. So there are three different types of speed control methods. Are there? Variation of resistance in armature circuit, variation of resistance in armature circuit. That means armature resistance. By changing this armature resistance, the speed can be controlled. This method is called armature resistance rheostatic control. Okay, and variation of field flux, by changing the field flux also the speed can be controlled. This method is known as field flux control method. And the variation in applied voltage, this method is also known as armature voltage control. Okay, by changing the supply voltage, the speed can be controlled. Okay, this is called variation applied voltage. That is called armature voltage control. So this armature resistance control, this is called armature winding. Na? So by introducing some resistance, by adding some resistance, this armature can current can be controlled, and then speed of the DC motor can be controlled. This armature I into RA plus RSC, by introducing some resistance here, then the V minus IA RA, this total term is decreasing, and then speed is decreasing. Okay, if you are increasing the resistance of the wind, that is for armature resistance control method. Okay, the speed is controlled like this manner. And the series motor, so we are to introduce resistors like this series motor. By controlling the series resistors, this armature can be controlled. Okay, armature current can be controlled. And next, field flux control method. So flux control means this field winding. This field current can be, if you are controlling the field current, then field flux control can be possible by changing the resistance. Field flux control method. So by changing the resistance, the current can be controlled, and this field winding current can be controlled. The field current can be controlled by using changing the resistance. Okay. In shunt motors, variable RC connected in series with the shunt field winding. This is called variable RC resistance. It's connected in series with the shunt field winding. Then this field current can be controlled. That means flux can be controlled. N is equal to EB by V minus IR divided by pi. Na? N is equal to V minus IR divided by pi. This is from this relation. And then flux can be controlled. And then flux control means the speed can be controlled. So like this, by controlling the flux, field flux, this speed can be controlled. That is for shunt motor. Okay. And a series motor also, this flux can be in series motor, the field winding is in series with the armature winding. No? That's why this some amount of current is diverted to this resistor. That's why the field can be controlled. That is for series motor. Okay, like this. These are the different types of methods, speed control methods of DC motors.